Hi, how are you? You're on Cesar Blue's channel, and today I'm trying Spain's most expensive cocido at 80 euros. They serve it here, right behind me, at the restaurant inside the Gran Madrid Casino, Colón. At Calvero Restaurante, which honors my name, the bald guy's Calvin Klein Calvero. And the restaurant is managed, in this case, at least on Thursdays at 2:30, which is the only day they serve. This excellent stew is made by renowned chef Juanjo Lopez of La Tasquita de Enfrente, which I have described as a temple of quality ingredients. Years ago, at another time when you even had to wear a mask, just think how long I've been tasting the food of this great chef from here in Madrid, and how long I've wanted to try his new creations. In this case, this stew, we'll have to see why it's so expensive, if it's worth it, if it's not, if it's really expensive, or if it's worth what it costs, or if it costs what it's worth. I'm telling you in advance that you have to wear a jacket, a shirt, and leave your hat at home. Well, it doesn't actually say anything about the hat, I just imagined that. But I'm telling you, I just came from the gym, from boxing, with my coach, with Team Sanchez, with Carlos, and I'm starving. I'm so hungry it's giving me cramps, perfect for enjoying the good stew here and seeing if it can satisfy me. So I'm heading inside to see what's going on. How elegant and beautiful the restaurant is. It's practically just open since they did a renovation 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm one of the first to try it out. All this furniture, these tables, everything, it all smells clean and new. Even the menu here from the Calvero restaurant, I just found out that Calvero means a clearing in the forest. I thought they had named it in honor of people named Calvero like me, but well, I guess not. Here on the menu, they welcome you to the restaurant and start with the cold appetizers. But I'm going straight to what I want, because the Cocido menu is only served on Thursdays, only at 2:30, and it's the day when Juanjo comes to prepare it and to be at the tables attending to the diners. They also have the regular menu available at night, starting with cold appetizers. They offer Iberian products, Gildas, oysters, Russian salad, and tomato salad. Then they have some hot appetizers like croquettes, shrimp toast, steak sandwich, ratatouille, omelette, pig's ear, tripe, and vegetable stew. And it continues with the meats. They have this beef tenderloin tartare with foie gras and traditional oxtail. To finish with the fish, there are 3 small dishes, which are the calamari. Bluefin tuna belly in its ink with roasted onion, and hake cheeks in green sauce. Short menu, a menu that's already been seen and judged. And now, let the feast begin. I'm glad the house appetizer is the Gilda, since I wanted to order it, but now there's only stew. The menu is for the evening. Here is the delicious Gilda with pipara pepper, anchovy, and gortal olive. Also, I suddenly craved something from the menu. They offer champagne by the glass. Yes, it's from Alfred Gratian Chardonnay Pinot Noir. Wow, well, this will be the first time in my life that I start a meal with champagne and Gildas. But they've also brought the bread, of course, and the olive oil. This olive oil from Parriedad Cornicabra, in which I'm going to dip plenty of bread. I'll begin, as always, by toasting to thank you for joining and supporting me on this adventure. Champagne with Gildas, with a jacket, with a shirt without a hat. It seems like something has changed, but well, I'm still the same as always. Well, I expected nothing less. Is the Gilda tasty? The champagne is delicious. I'm going to give the oil a good dip. I've made several videos explaining I'm on a strict diet plan and try to eat just 1 piece of bread per meal. But today, will you let me skip it? You know, I've never understood this trend of putting oil on your bread before the meal. But well, that's how it is, and you enjoy it and appreciate it. Of course, I'm going to keep dipping my bread here, so let the eating continue. We start with the first serving of the stew. Here is this broth. There are 7 courses in total, and this is the first one, as I said, the broth with mushroom and take. I've also ordered a wine, and since I'm in Madrid, I've ordered a wine from Madrid. Of course, it couldn't be any other way. Arañones 30,000 maravedíes of garnacha from San Martín de Pan de Iglesias. All right, let's go with the wine. Well, the broth is pure umami, huh? Well, they make this with a base of turnip. Well, they've been explaining so many things to me that my head is going to explode, like young people say these days. Look, they basically started making the stew yesterday. It uses different broths. They mix different broths together. They make an eel broth, and to do that, first they boil water for several hours with turnip and, well, with several other preparations they make. This is a rich broth inspired by Japanese cuisine, very clean and full of umami. And they serve it with this shiitake that's wrapped in Iberian pork jowl, right? Hey, it's a delight, especially in texture. The pork jowl adds a hint of fat to this otherwise lean, clean broth. Broths are something I've been in love with since I was a kid pretty much, but when I was in Japan, this broth really reminds me a lot of ramen broth. Well, here it comes. Appreciating even more something that we often don't give the value it deserves. What about the hours of preparation it takes? And the mystery behind the secret recipe? Every Cocido spot serves its own broth. This one is delicious. Honestly, I would have had 2 glasses, but we're in an elegant place where things come out slowly. A good Riedel 001 glass. Let's try the wine. Also, the service is incredible. Oh, it's really good. Let's keep going. I insist, this is an unusual stew because what you're seeing here is eel. Yes, it's a turnip broth, the broth I mentioned to you earlier, which includes a bit of turnip and eel. I'm not sure if this is meant to be eaten in one bite.
They insisted on the temperature, that I shouldn't let it cool down too much. Honestly, the turnip is cut with millimeter precision, with a very beautiful pattern.
The turnip's texture is amazing. I loved when they revealed the dish with the cloche. Oh, how's the broth? Wow, it's a bit different than before. Oh, the broth is delicious. It's going to absorb right from here. They've already come to refill some of the wine. How rich and creamy is this? It has no fat. I like fatty things, but this is on a different level. Wow, I've already had 2 broths. 2 of the best broths I've ever had in my life, both on the same day and in the same place. I know I say this a lot, but if you ever get the chance to try this, it's very likely you'll say or think the same thing as me. Wow, the broth is just a mix of, well, it's pure umami, as they say. It's kind of a little gelatinous. All the magic is in the turnip itself. Oh my, the broth is really delicious, honestly. When they were explaining it to me, I didn't think the turnip broth experience was going to be so amazing. Huh? Let's continue. And here is the long-awaited soup. I've been told these are handmade noodles, huh? Yes, they're almost handmade. Not here, but bought from a craftsman. Well, the broth, which is a blend of the previous broth, each broth is different from the others, and well, let's try it right now. I told them to bring me as much as possible in the soup tureen, or the little bowl of soup, as much as possible. They also gave me 3 long piparas, the milder ones. I'm going to try them. Juanjo is going around to all the tables all the time. Is he making sure that everyone enjoys his cocido, his creation, to the fullest? Wow, noodles, you won't believe how the broth tastes. The broth alone makes the visit worthwhile. It's very clear and slightly lighter than the previous one. Oh, thank you very much. I remember the most expensive stew I knew before, which was Nardi's. They serve you with gloves, offer impeccable service, and have a beautiful dining room in central Madrid. All those things are part of what you're paying for, you know? And I don't think anyone doubts that, right? The napkin, which may seem silly, is made of amazing fabric, as is the tablecloth. Pouring the soup is amazing. I asked for a generous amount. Or spicy pipara, delicious. The noodles are really good. I prefer thick noodles over thin ones. It's surprising how spicy the pipara is, even though it's small and more or less straight, not very twisted. They say that the ones that twist around themselves and are bigger are spicier. But anyway, I insist, even though I like everything about the stew, really, I'll have broth morning, afternoon, and night. And here are the chickpeas. They call them dizzy chickpeas because besides cooking them, they have them going all morning in a pan over low heat, soaking up the ladles of broth that they served us earlier. They also add tomato and cumin traditionally. I also noticed the portion is very small. They use a technique similar to risotto. I insist Juanjo is always moving between tables, listening to opinions and sharing parts of the story. They do it like everyone else.
I don't know, never risotto, right?
But well, you add broth, stirring it so it absorbs that broth, that tomato, that cumin. Everything is balanced and nothing stands out. The dishes aren't flashy or greasy stews. I appreciate it because I really like it. I understand the finish, their goal, and that they've achieved it.
Now I'm going to ask them if they can give me a bigger plate, right?
Because this is, I'm telling you honestly, so absolutely delicious that you're left wanting more. It's a chickpea from Zamora, from a local farmer, you know? It's truly wonderful. I'm telling you from the heart, really truly wonderful. When you go to a place like that, you have to forget about what you're paying for the food. Because if you don't, you'll start thinking, well, I don't know what expectations I had. After all, it's just a stew, right? If you can ignore that and just enjoy it, it's made at the highest level.
I insist. It feels like it's not enough for me, you know?
I'm going to see if they'll bring me another dish. I could eat 3 or 4 plates like this. They said another plate of chickpeas was coming and asked if it was too much. I replied, how could it be too much? Chickpeas are never enough. Another thing to keep in mind, the restaurant is set up for 26 diners.
The table you see here, so big, well, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a table with 4 seats.
And actually, all the tables they have are big. There are no tables for 1 or tables for 2. All the tables are big, so everyone can eat comfortably. And in fact, I can see that at the biggest table I'm looking at, there are only 4 people sitting. I mean, everything is designed for maximum comfort. It's the lightest stew I've ever had. I don't think any nutritionist would forbid me from eating this, at least for now. Hey, because, watch out, now comes the meat and the marrow part. Let's keep going. And this is the Cocido bowl. Yes, so a little spin here again with the broth, a spin to the Cocido bowl. Anyway, I'm going to break it apart. Let's see how it is. Wow, it looks amazing. Wow, it looks like a slightly undercooked meatball, huh? Like a hamburger. What is this? It's like a tenderloin. I can totally see it. Honestly, I don't know. It's new, but what is it? It's like a tenderloin burger. Wow, it has such an amazing flavor. They've been cooking that little ball in the same broth. This is definitely haute cuisine, huh? I ate it in 3 bites. Could have eaten it in 1, huh? Delicious meat, right? And the broth, I think, is the same as last time. Well, Juanjo told me it has beef tenderloin, Iberian pork, and a bit of pork jowl.
Wow, no wonder it was so good. He says this is the base he uses for meatballs at his tavern.
Let's continue. Which stew do they put you in? A bone marrow like this? Well, it comes with a vegetable caviar, as they've explained to me. I'm not really sure what vegetable caviar is. Notice how the bone marrow is served. It's a real delicacy. Wow. Still, it's very filling, isn't it? Whew, it might not look like it, but this is a lot of bone marrow for just one guy. Let's see how it is, huh? Wow, it looks amazing. I've never seen this in a stew before. Honestly, never in my life. You know, Dad really liked marrow. He called it pispuerno. Well, I think that's what it's called in Leon. He used to say it a lot in the village. He really liked to suck the pispuerno, the inside of the bone, which was cut crosswise, not lengthwise like this one here. The toasted bread is delicious and resembles cornbread. The marrow tastes great and is very filling, even from this small bone. This would be good for 2 people to share. Honestly, I really love the idea so far. I know this video will be generating all kinds of comments, and I understand them. Everyone has their own opinion, of course, but it's one of those things that I think if you can afford it and you're here in Madrid, for now, why not? Anyway, there's still a little bit of meat stuck to the bone here. I'm going to take it off while the next dish comes. And here are the meats from the stew. They made it like Ropa Vieja. I insist, it's a stew. Let's call it alternative, very innovative. In fact, it's all topped with a fried egg with its perfect crispy edges. And I understand that here goes the chorizo, the bacon, the brisket, the chicken. Anyway, let's try it and see how it is. Here, with a well-broken egg, man, I get that's how the egg's crispy edge crunches. That's the motivation, right? The egg, well, mix it all with the best sauce in the world, which is the fried egg. This smells like you can't even imagine, huh? And it all comes together, already cut up and mixed. Oh, what a punch of flavor, what a punch. It's the first time I've eaten a stew without chorizo. This is a punch, huh? It never would have occurred to me to have this like this. What an imagination punch. It also has chickpeas. Wow, what a stew, so different. It's super balanced, really good, and it has quite a bit of bacon. By the way, the fake caviar from before was celery, finely chopped celery. Here there's chickpea and chorizo. I can taste the beef, the shank, I don't know. I love eating chorizo like this. In this way, I don't know. Ropa Vieja, it's really fun. The bite isn't greasy at all. The stew, not at all. I say what I say and act how I do because of where I'm from and my habits, and I'm not going to change. I like greasy things when they're supposed to be greasy, but this is really good. And I'm going to insist, like with the chickpeas, I wanted more because it was so good. The portions. If you come to eat, filming is one thing, and actually eating everything is another. So it's a compromise. Don't assume a higher price means you'll get 2 or 3 kilos of food here. That's not the concept, and that's not the motivation of this restaurant. This is a 10, and I'm going to try to have it served on another plate, even if I have to pay, since chances like this are rare. Let's see if I can do it. Well, I managed to get a second helping. Yes, here is the fried egg, which by the way is fried to perfection. I'm going to record a close-up of how the egg falls apart with this delicate ethereal edge and the yolk, well, still a bit runny. Fried egg just the way it's supposed to be. Well, that's how the egg is. You won't believe it, but I think I've overdone it. I'm already feeling a bit full. I had a snack ready, but I don't think there will be much of one today. Wow, this is a show, this is a show, it's a show. I asked them politely if I could have seconds, and they didn't have a problem with it. Making a fried egg is an advanced skill. When people say, he can't even make an egg, it's not as simple as it sounds. Well, making it, yes, but making it well is another thing, right? Really? Honestly? And honestly, this is delicious, you know? This is delicious. I love it. The edge of the egg is so crispy, which is what I like most about the stew. Wow, I don't know what to tell you, huh? But the first broth with the mushroom and this, it's just amazing. And now we're moving on to dessert. And for dessert, the flan with cream catches my attention because it's not the typical flan that comes from an individual mold. No, it actually looks more like a sponge cake, like a mold that's been cut. I'm also intrigued by this whole side with the little holes. Also the cream, which looks good, like a good chantilly whipped by hand, the way I think it should be. In fact, I'm going to start with the cream. I've always said that I don't like canned cream. Not that I don't like it, I just prefer it to be whipped by hand. In the end, I'm sure it's a chantilly that has more than just cream, because it's been here for a while and it's still very well whipped. It must be cold for this to be just cream, but right off the bat I can tell you it's delicious. It has a little bit of sugar. Wow, look at how the spoon goes through the dish. Well, I couldn't do the flan test because it has very little surface, but you can see it's a flan that the spoon goes through perfectly. I really like the texture it has. Once again, I just say things as I feel them. I'm really rough when it comes to quantities and flavors, and I feel like this is an amount where I could have 3 of these, you know? Sugar is well balanced. I'm not sure if they've added extra egg yolks, but it looks and tastes very yolky. And there's still one more little thing with which I'll say goodbye to all of you. Best regards. And now it's really time to say goodbye with this one. Well, it's not an anise donut. Juanjo has put his own spin on it and made it good. So this little anise, sweet, and the classic Madrid-style palomita, water with anise, anise donut, and palomita, a true Madrid classic, anise with water. It's even better than flan, isn't it delicious? These are things you only do once in life. I can't come to places like this every day either, but like I said, it's an experience, you know? As I said about Lardy, the priciest stew I knew before, this is truly an experience. It's not just the food, it's the place, it's the way they treat you, it's how delicious everything is. Obviously, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big super like. Subscribe to support me, it's totally free. If you also turn on the notification bell, YouTube will let you know every time there's a new video. And that's all for today. I'll enjoy some anise with water here, the classic Madrid palomita. And I thank you for joining me once again on this adventure to discover the most delicious restaurants on the planet. See you at the next restaurant. Goodbye.